Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, follow up on that Marx 999 that arrived last week. 12 bucks, beat to death, rusted, missing the front truck, missing the rear truck. And anyway, got it running and installed a front and rear truck, as you see. And so it is complete. Cleaned up most of the rust. It's far from perfect, but the nice thing about it, of course, is it runs well. It's forward, reverse, working headlight. Front truck, rear truck, cost 12 bucks. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video on a really simple way to mount the front truck if it is missing. So went down to Ace Hardware and found some tiny screws with nuts, as you see. And these are pretty small, but there's no practical simple way to replace those rivets on that 999 front truck. So anyway, went down, found these little tiny screws and nuts, and just put the screws through the holes, put the nuts on the inside, then put a single drop of epoxy on the nut to keep it tight, and a perfect, simple, instant way to mount that front truck. As you see, the screws just drop through the holes, replace the rivets, and just put the nut on the other side. Now to screw that on, there's not a whole lot of room in there. To screw that nut on, I used a pair of hemostats. Just clamped the nut in a pair of hemostats, got it started on the screw, then tightened it, of course, with a small jeweler's Phillips head screwdriver, and then a drop of epoxy, 5-minute epoxy on each nut, and that locks it in position. That'll stay in there virtually forever. And installed a standard rear truck, of course. So this old locomotive is complete, and not only complete, but running really well. So I just wanted to do a quick video on this. So I've got it on the rail with 10 litho cars, I believe. So as you see, a complete 999, front truck, rear truck, runs forward and reverse, working headlight. Of course, it has an epoxy lens and an epoxy number board. But as far as running, you couldn't ask it to run better. That's 40% power pulling 10 litho cars with 3 lighted cars. So it runs nice. It's more than acceptable looking. It's far from perfect. I mean, this thing was an absolute wreck when it arrived. And as I always stress, don't overlook the junk. It was missing the lens, the number board, it was covered in rust, it didn't run, missing the front truck and missing the rear truck. I basically bought it for the motor. And of course, when I get it running, I don't tear them apart. So I figured since I had the additional parts, I'd go ahead and complete this, add the front and rear truck. It's got a number board, it's got a lens, it has a working E-unit and a working headlight. Really difficult to beat that. Plus I had the satisfaction of bringing this old locomotive back to life. As you see, it runs absolutely perfectly. No problems with this at all. So anyway, I just want to do a quick video on a really simple way to mount that front truck. And it's the original is held on with rivets. And it's a really simple expedient if the front truck is missing or if the rivets are missing, just to use these tiny screws and nuts. And as you see, they're perfect for this application. Just drop the screw through the hole, put the nut on the other side, snug it, back it off just a bit, and then put a drop of 5-minute epoxy on that nut. It will never loosen. It will stay in there virtually forever. Anyway, just a really simple way to mount that front truck. The best part about it, of course, is that it's really easy, it looks nice, and it works. So just 2 tiny screws with a nut on the other side, then a drop of epoxy so that nut can't vibrate loose, and you've mounted your front truck. It looks nice, it's more than efficient, it's actually really simple, really inexpensive, and it only takes a minute to do it. So just a quick video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, benztrains@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.